Hello and welcome. My name is Ray and these are my tutorials. Today I'll be talking about ASP.NET Page Lifecycle. I put together a demo of code to show you the lifecycle and I'll explain it. What I did is I took the default template and I shoved in it a text area and I labeled it log stuff. I also put in the JavaScript file Lifecycle, and in this file basically I write to the text area log stuff a message, and that message will be this event occurred. For example, when onload occurs, it'll write window.onload. When onPage show happens, it'll write onPage show. On focus, on blur, etc., etc. I removed these because moving the mouse around took up a lot of space, so there was no reason to see all that activity. Last, at the well, that's not last. On the server side, let's begin with the default. At the application level, I wrote to the console, and I wrote a message with the timestamp because I needed to track when it was and how many milliseconds and whatever, and the name of the method that is being called. For example, application start will print the time application start started. Session start, likewise, session start. Application begin request, application begin request, etc. And we did the exact same thing down at the page level. Now, I want to point out that at the page level, when you do this, you basically got the button click method, whatever, and they tell you that you can inherit, or not inherit, but override the base class method with the page underscore. So you can basically use IntelliSense and see all the different events. For example, abort transaction is an event because of the lightning bolt next to it. I think if we go through this list some more, we'll see some other events. I didn't include that one. Commit transact, and I happen to have one up here. Commit page underscore commit transact up this item here. So that's how this works. Essentially what will happen, it'll document each step, what, when, and when it happened. Now we put that all together. Let's just run a simple ASP.NET page. And I'm going to use the debug, so I'll debug. And this is behind here. Let's get back over here. We basically, we see that it stopped at end request, okay? And in the application outlook, this is basically what happened. So when it was compiling, it did all this stuff, and then it got to my code where application start. Now, part of the debug process is that it sends a request. It says this page default.aspx is sending a request. It authenticates. It says, oh yeah, that is the ASP.x page that's in my application. I'll process that. So when that happens, the default object, which was the name of the page, is initialized and called. At the application level, sessions is started. Back to the page, we see preint is called, int is called, incomplete is called, all the way down to unload and dispose. So around here, load is basically at that time the page has all the view state that it received from the HTML request. There's nothing on the page yet because the request, or the initial request, has not been made. Not even a button or anything like that. So we'll just go back to here and we'll just F5 to continue. Application end request, begin request, authentic request. It does it twice because I think it's part of the decoding thing. But application, this is the application end request is basically what I sort of look at. This other begin request, authenticate, that's not really part of my thread, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to it other than just point it out. And what's happening over here? Oh, because it went through twice, if I go over here to View, Visual Design, I see that it stopped again, so I go F5, and now, so notice that you saw some elements, but we didn't see anything written in this area over here, okay? And now I just got a mouse down and a mouse up, which is a click. Okay? I'll click on this, and it goes to the server. And this page is now unloading, because you see before unload event happens. The blur happens because the alert box just gave itself focus. When I hit OK, I will see that it stops back over here at MonoDevelop. I can look at the application output, and here we are again. We went through, a new object was created and whatnot, and at this point right here, the button clicked on the server side is dealt with. That's where it just took the message that says you clicked me, and it sends it. Now it's just sending it back to the HTTP request page. But if we go over to here, it just says click me. It hasn't received that message, you've clicked me. Okay? So we'll give it that message by F5ing and let it go through twice. Okay? And we see that everything is cleared out. And this is changed up here saying that you clicked me. So basically what happens, if there was data written in here, this is a whole new page. It's re-rendered. It got some data from the ASP.NET side, but you may have had some data saved here, like I just wrote JavaScript to here. I wrote something, I wrote mouse down and mouse up, and I'm going to lose that. I lose that when I come over here. So anyway, that's just important to know, and you can see and it's reloaded. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have any suggestions, give me a call. Bye.